My guests made national headlines last week because of their countercultural decision they decided to make by downsizing their life so that they could give away more. But what that entailed caught the attention of many, and they are here to share their story. Welcome, Joo-Meng and Rosanna Soh. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So, again, you end up on the front page of the Toronto Star because you went on a missions trip to Uganda and God did something in your hearts. Tell us about that, Rosanna.
Yeah, we joined an organization called Amachet, and they are my best friends. And they decided to move out to Uganda to start something. And last summer we took our children, our 4 children, and our whole family went out for 6 weeks, and we did so many things. But their overall experience was just life-changing as a family for us to be able to experience something like that. And then we come home to Oakville where it's just extravagant, right? Extravagant. And our kids are coming and saying, it's too much. I don't need this. And as a couple, we're saying the same thing, you know? And we think about all our friends back in Uganda, and we said, we don't need so much. And we are on a journey ourselves, having read a few books where God was calling us, you know, what is he calling us to do, right? How is he calling us to build his kingdom, and what can we do about that? So honestly, we are just following a journey of obedience, listening to the Lord and asking him, what do you want? What would you have us do? And this is just one of the many things he's asked us to do, but just to downsize so that we could free up time and finances and to serve the Lord in whatever he calls us to do.
So both of you have great jobs. Joo-Meng, you're a doctor, and Rosanna, you're an educational therapist. And so, you know, I've done that. I've come back from, you know, traveling overseas, and then all of a sudden you just feel very guilty about all the things that you have, and you know that your friends that you were just visiting had absolutely nothing. And so you decide, Joo-Meng, to sell your house because you want to downsize. And so you sell your house, and you're looking for a new house. And you get caught up in what many of us have done, got caught up in a bidding war. And you wrote a letter to the sellers. Tell us about that.
So we wanted to just share with the sellers why we're doing what we're doing. You know, as Rosanna shared, we went to Uganda, we experienced a lot, and now we want to just give back. And you know, growing up, you know, my parents taught me the value of money. We've tithed even as a young child. And being a physician, you know, I have a significant income, but I've always known that that income was not just for me. It wasn't just for our family. It was for other people. And so we shared with the family in this letter that, you know, we want to give more of our time and our resources and our talents. And that's the reason why we want to downsize, become mortgage-free.
And this couple really resonated with your letter. And so you'd been outbid. But there were, how many bids were there on this house?
Yeah, so I read in the paper
13?
that there were 13, it said 13 other offers.
13 other offers, so you're definitely outbid. But this family really resonated with what you wanted to do, and they decided that they were gonna say no to all of this extra money and give this, oh, not give the house, obviously you had to buy it, but right. Accept your offer. And tell me about that, because I love, in reading this article, your kids were also on board. They looked around, as you said, Rosanna, and thought, yeah, we have too much. We want to be in a smaller house so that we can be together. And I love this quote, our desire is to downsize and live simply so others may simply live.
Yeah, and that's what we want to teach our children, that in a world where there's so much want, right? That it's, what do we need? Right? What do you need, and what do others need? And let's live simply, you know. And to us, simply is can be so many things, right? And to us right now, it's a smaller home, and simply is, hey, maybe we don't need this or that, but what can we give so someone else can live? Yeah. Right. And the sellers, amazing people, right? That they also too followed the leading of the Lord, really. And so I want to honor them.
And what I love about this too is that the sellers were more concerned about their neighborhood and making sure that the people that took over their home were people that they would want to be a part of their neighborhood, that could take care of their elderly neighbor and love their neighborhood. And that is really what they saw in your letter, didn't they, Joo-Meng?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I want to tag on to Rosanna was that, you know, when we went to Uganda, we would visit people, and a lot of people on our trip donated items to us that we gave away. But we would visit these people or widows who had very little, and when we left, they would give us a chicken. And a chicken for us is no big deal, but a chicken for them, they may not eat a chicken for months.
Yeah.
And with the little they have, they were so generous to us. And so we came back thinking, how can we be equally generous when we've been blessed so much as well?
You also shared that at one point you thought of moving to Uganda. That was a part of the idea of downsizing. Maybe we move there, but you decided you'd be able to maybe make more of an impact being here.
I think really it's about where is God calling us,
Yeah.
right? So it was about really waiting and listening and saying, God, where would you have us? Because here we are. We're ready to serve you in any capacity, in any way. So if you are going to call us to Uganda, we will take our 4 children. We will move. We will do what you ask us to do. And, we pursued that and we prayed and asked the Lord, is this what you want? Is this what you want? And slowly something, doors closed and things changed and he would have us here. He wants us here.
I think
For a
what
reason.
boggles a lot of people's mind, and you guys have done so much media now on this story, is the question why? Both of you, again, are so successful. Why choose to downsize? Why choose to do this with your life? Smaller house, give more. Why?
Well, excuse me. It was funny, on January 1st, when I gathered our family and we were doing sort of devotions, one word that came to us was the word concordance, which means doing what we say, living out what we believe in. And so that was one of our reasons why we did what we did. We wanted to show our children that, we're not just teaching and preaching this, we're living it out. And for us, it was just showing an example. And as you read the Bible, we got to realize that, there's a lot of things that we're not doing that we should be doing, or we want to be living out the gospel completely, and our actions, our words, being concordant with what we believe in.
And so as you look down the line, what else does this mean for downsizing a life and a family with 4 kids?
Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking us, what are our next steps?
Yeah.
And the honest answer is, we're going to listen and we're going to wait. And when the Lord tells us, we're going to obey. Yeah, so what does that look like in terms of our finances, our time, our talents? Where are we going to pour that in? And we're just waiting on the Lord to tell us, and we will obey.
Well, we're going to bring in these 4 children of yours, beautiful kids. Maybe you can introduce each of them to us as they appear.
This is Abigail here, or Abby.
Abigail.
This is Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
This is Eliana. And this is Jacob here.
And how have you seen your family transform as you're, closer together? This is a missional choice that your family has made. It's not just about you two as a couple, but as a family. How have you seen your family transform through this? The kids transform through this?
I think it's brought us closer together. I think experiencing a missions trip in Uganda was incredible.
Yeah.
For all of them it was an eye-opener for them to see what a slum looks like. How women cook in these small areas and there's smoke billowing all over the room. But for them to actually experience and play with children who may be dirty or who have tattered clothing, but they just saw them like children. And they would play with them, they would hug them, they would carry them, and it was just incredible.
And they saw them as friends.
Yes, and it makes it real, right? It's no longer, children are starving in Africa. Actually, your friend Gloria didn't eat today, so let's finish that dinner, right? Yeah.
Is downsizing something easy? Is that something that anybody can do?
Moving alone is not.
Yeah,
moving alone is a process. So.
But downside, for us, we've never lived sort of extravagant lives. So I'm happy to downsize. When you live a life just being happy with what you have, it's easy.
Well said. Thank you so much, Soh family.
For having us.
Thank you, guys.